So obviously the draft is today, guys, and I wanted to go over the trades that have happened recently leading up to this besides the Pelicans trade. I already covered that in the last video. Today I'm going to be covering the Kevin Durant trade, that's for sure, so let's get right into it. So the Suns have dealt Kevin Durant to the Rockets for Dillon Brooks and Jalen Green, the 10th overall pick. So obviously Kevin Durant was worth a lot of money. He was getting paid a lot, so you replace that with Dillon Brooks and Jalen Green. Dillon Brooks is making $23 million, Jalen Green's making about $33 million. That would probably make up around what Kevin Durant was getting paid. I think Kevin Durant has a very good impact on the Rockets. I think they did well with the trade. I think they knew they were going to have to give up a young asset, and they go up Jalen Green, which he's on a multi-year contract. So, you really wanted to keep him around, but, you had to give up something worth something to bring Kevin Durant, because ultimately, Kevin Durant's going to bring in playoff experience, and he's going to bring in veteran leadership they need on that young team. This is definitely a move for the Rockets where they're trying to push to the next level because obviously they got stopped last year. I think it was somewhat because of their youth, and Kevin Durant fixes that. He fixes a lot of the issues they have. He can play power forward as well, and it's not like they lost much of their depth. They lost Dillon Brooks and Jalen Green. They get back Kevin Durant, so it's 2 for 1, right? And they still have the 10th pick they give up, which is also going to be a solid asset for the Suns. In terms of getting deeper into the playoffs, getting past those first couple of series, I think Kevin Durant accomplishes what the Rockets were looking for, and I think they've been pursuing him for a long time. Now, for the Suns, it's a little bit of a risky trade because Jalen Green's got to develop into something now that can play defense and, of course, score the ball like he has, but that's not worth so much because they have Devin Booker at the same position. It's just not worth quite as much as defense would be. And the Suns also do acquire the 10th pick, which is a solid asset. You can get something pretty solid with that. They develop them right. And you get Dillon Brooks, who is a veteran right now, who can play defense. Now, the issue is they don't have a point guard. They don't have a center. That's the biggest issue everybody's talked about, right? Now that they have the 10th pick, though, I think they go out and acquire Derek Queen. I think that's going to be their pick now. I think they need a center, and he can shot create as well. I think Derek Queen fits them a lot now that they, in their current roster, I think Derek Queen fits very well. News is breaking as I'm making this video, but Fred VanVleet intends to extend his contract with the Rockets, so he'll be their guard. But I think that 10th pick is going to be very crucial because Derek Queen, if they can secure Derek Queen, I think that is the pick for the Suns. Now, I do think the Rockets secured more money in this deal because now the Suns, if the 10th pick being what I think would be Derek Queen, if him and Jalen Green become something that they have to keep, they have to pay more money to extend them. Whereas Kevin Durant is he's very simple because he's not a developmental piece. You know what you're paying, you know what you're getting. I think this does free up the Rockets to make more money moves, and that's what they just did. They just extended Fred VanVleet, at least. That's what they're trying to do for $50 million. That's what it looks like, at least in the notification I just got. I think there's many more trades to come today, but that's my thoughts on the Suns-Rockets trade. That was the biggest trade made so far, but Kevin Durant is older. He's not very consistent at staying on teams, so it's not as big of a trade as it once could have been. Now I want to talk about how active the Boston Celtics have been. Obviously, they made it clear they wanted to make moves. Jaylen Brown's currently being pursued as well. But they trade Drew Holiday, they trade Kristaps Porzingis, they get younger and get Anthony Simons, which he's a better scorer than Drew Holiday. That's going to bring a bigger role on Derek White because now Derek White's going to play that main defensive role, the main on-ball role that Drew Holiday did, because now Anthony Simons comes in, he's not as much of a defender and he's younger and he's going to get buckets, right? He's a shot creator. I think it was interesting they go up Kristaps and they didn't really get that much for him, the guy Georges Niang, but Kristaps is very injury prone. He's not that valuable anymore. When he's on the floor, he's pretty good. He can really use his size to his advantage, and he does a lot of things when he's on the floor. He's just never on the floor, and you never know when he's going to get injured because that brother can get injured even walking up the floor. Really liked Brooklyn getting in there and getting Terrence Mann and the 22nd pick. That's a young wing, and wings are very important. And you get the 22nd pick. They really got the biggest haul in the trade. Fred VanVleet's deal, by the way, is looking like a 2-year, $50 million, which is pretty good. $25 million a year. That's a pretty good deal for the Rockets, in my opinion, because Fred VanVleet does a lot of things. I think he's worth more than $25 million. So the only thing that's happened in the last couple of hours is there's rumors the Thunder are going to move up, and Ace Bailey's camp has said he doesn't want to go to Charlotte or some other teams, which it looks like we're going to go with Ace Bailey or Knuple. That's going to be my final prediction here for the Pelicans. I think we go either Ace Bailey or Knuple, probably Con Knuple, and then I think we go Danny Wolf with the 23rd pick. In conclusion, though, Portland gets Drew Holiday. They get a veteran leadership. They get a guard like C.J. McCollum or any of those guards that can provide veteran leadership, and they've been there before. If I had to assume, Drew Holiday's probably on an expiring contract as well. It's probably the other reason they did it, dissimilar to C.J. McCollum. And the Rockets get Kevin Durant in hopes of going deep into the playoffs, and the Suns get another young asset in Jalen Green. But anyways, I will be streaming during the draft, and I'm going to see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. And if you want more sports content, please like and subscribe.